Hey guys, this is Braminc bringing you a video at CardRunners.com, and it's gonna be a heads up hyper turbo quickie! Yeah! And today we're gonna be doing the 15s. If you follow my challenge, you'll see that I moved up to the 15s. If you want to know what happened after that, you should follow the challenge more closely because some more things have happened since then. But we're gonna be two-tabling here. And talking about things that come up. Here we flop top two pair. And obviously we are going to bet and try to get it in. There's a lot of draws on this board, obviously. Most pairs won't fold to bigger bet sizes on this flop, so I think bigger bet sizes are good for just extra value and for protection against draws and build pots and millions of other reasons. So we're definitely going to get in here versus his check raise. Unfortunately, he flopped the nuts. He's laughing at us right now, but that's just a cooler, so what can you do? And I think we have another table popping up here any moment now. Yep, and I was sitting out there. I guess my connection was a little slow. It happens. Pocket 9 standard, and it's actually kind of an interesting board to decide whether to c-bet or not, and I think it's a standard c-bet against most players. Here, for a moment, you see that I've been check-raised 3 to 5 times by this opponent, so I was pondering checking back, but I think it's more of a spot to just bet, get it in, because he's going to be check-raising so many draws as well. He might even check-raise 8s and 6s. I mean, people who check-raise more than average are going to show up with a lot of weird stuff. Not saying he actually check raises 50 or 60%, but he probably does over 20%. The likelihood is high. On table 1, I think checking back ace high there is pretty decent. It's a board that he's going to have a ton of pieces of, whether it be gut shots, open-enders, pairs, and trips, and flush draws. I mean, there's just endless things that a person's flatting range can hit there. So I really don't mind the check back, especially since I have so many backdoor draws that I would like to realize a little bit of the equity of. So we check back flop. We get a pretty interesting turn since we pick up an open-ender plus not flush draw. And I think I did bet because I had all the extra equity I picked up. Yeah, I think if I had a flush draw, it's just a standard check back on the turn as well. And when I brick, when he calls turn, I'm probably just checking back river here because he's going to have, like I said, too many pieces of all that. The queen even completed, anything that wasn't there on the turn, the queen really completed. So, table 2, I'm trying to kind of induce check raise here since this guy might be check raise happy. Again, small sample size, not trying to read into it too much, but nonetheless, we do kind of get a little min check raise out of him. I don't mind flatting here to keep all those bluffs in since we expect him to have a massive amount of bluffs. I don't hate almost clicking it back, a little more than clicking it back. I don't hate the min 3-bet just because he also might get too fancy and just do some spewy crap over the top of that, thinking that I'm, playing back light. But I think flatting is probably a little more standard versus someone without tons of history. Betting the turn there for value, really, because there's enough draws and ace high, king high hands that might call. Probably just check folding, but mostly likely going to check down. The river's going to check down most of the time here. You're not going to be seeing many bets because people don't usually turn ace high, king high into bluffs. Sure enough, he has ace high. That's cool, cool, cool. Table 1. I think we check called flop there with a jack. Check through the turn. We're going to probably bet for value here on the river, although actually, I guess what I was thinking, there's not a lot to value bet against here, just because how often has he hit a 6 or a 7? It's extremely just randomly small portion of his range, whereas he's going to have much more air where he might just go bet, check, bet, and bet this river. We can pick up some random bluffs. So this is definitely a bluff catching intention, at least. That was my intent.